I'm going to share with you a few reasons why moisturizing is very important for low porosity hair, some steps or pointers that you can apply if you are very busy, low on time, if you can't seem to find some structure for your hair care routine. Finding time to care for your hair consistently can be tough, whether you're a student, you're a mom, you're a working class citizen, or even a teenager. And one thing we can all agree on is that the struggles of consistent hair care are universal no matter where we are, which means that every single one of us who have attempted to care for our hair consistently, especially people with natural hair, people with low porosity natural hair, can relate to these struggles. Struggles aside, one of the things we always talk about when it comes to caring for hair is moisturizing hair. Moisturizing the hair is one of the most important things you have to do if you want to see progress on your hair growth journey. And now, as important as it is, there are some of us who cannot make out time to moisturize our hair consistently. So you find out that you can moisturize your hair at the beginning of week 1, then you don't have time to moisturize your hair. Week 1 passes, week 2 passes, week 3 passes, and before you know it, you've gone as long as a month, as long as 2 months, and maybe even 3 months and more without water and product touching your hair. Yes, it happens. Yes, I've had people who have reached out to me with this issue, and they have sought ways that they can simplify moisturizing the hair so that they can do it consistently, so that their hair stops breaking or their hair grows longer or thicker, whatever the case may be. If you're not familiar with porosity, porosity is how well your hair absorbs moisture or otherwise. That's the entire premise for how you're going to go about moisturizing your hair, and also the premise for the kind of products you're going to use to care for your hair to keep it healthy. So there are 3 types of porosity we know: high porosity, which means your hair absorbs moisture easily and also loses it easily; medium porosity, which means your hair is between high and low porosity; and low porosity, which means your hair takes longer to absorb moisture, but then it also takes a while to lose the moisture. If you are growing your hair, you will need to know what porosity your hair falls under so that you know how to go about your hair care routine, so that you get results, so that you're not just doing a bunch of things to your hair thinking you're doing the right thing, while in all that time you are doing stuff that will not help you get to your hair goals in one piece. So the easiest way you can know your porosity is to do a porosity test. Just pluck a strand of your hair and put it into a cup of room temperature water. If your hair sinks to the bottom, it's high porosity. If your hair stays on top, it's low porosity. And if your hair just stays in the middle, it's medium porosity. You need to know where your hair falls under so that you know how to go about your hair care and what products you will be using. Yes, moisturizing is very important, especially for low porosity natural hair. I'm going to share with you a few reasons why moisturizing is very important for low porosity hair, and some steps or pointers that you can apply to moisturize your hair efficiently, especially if you are constantly low on time, if you are very busy, or if you can't seem to find some structure for your hair care routine. The cuticles on low porosity natural hair are very tightly closed, which means that because of this, it is harder for water and moisture to penetrate the hair strands in order to keep the hair moisturized from the inside out. And once it's hard for water and moisture to get into your hair, it means that your hair is more prone to breakage, more prone to shedding, more prone to hair loss. Your hair is going to be dry, your hair is going to be brittle, and it's going to have a dusty appearance. So what you are going to need to do is to stay on top of your moisture and be very intentional about it. Doing this consistently and intentionally is going to make your hair accustomed to receiving moisture and water, and you're going to be able to make your hair softer, make your hair feel better, make your hair conditioned properly, and also give your scalp a healthy environment for your hair to grow and thrive. Another reason why moisturizing is very crucial for low porosity hair is that if your hair is not moisturized, it's going to break a lot, and breakage is one of those things that you cannot avoid if you're trying to grow your hair. So what you want to do is make sure your routine allows your hair to grow while making or keeping the breakage at a minimum. If your hair is also dry, that means you're going to need to work on that, because consistent dryness weakens the hair strand, and weak hair strands also break more than stronger hair strands. So if your goal is length retention and you're having dry hair, you're having hair that breaks very easily, it will be very hard for you to get to a length that is maybe past a certain point, typically it's shoulders, it will be very hard for your hair to get longer because you've not tackled that excess breakage that you are experiencing. Another thing you need to note is that your healthy hair and your curl definition depend on how well moisturized your hair is. Even how shiny your hair is depends on how well moisturized your hair is. Thankfully, all of these things can be remedied by being consistent with your moisturizing. So for moisture, when it comes to low porosity hair, I encourage us to use the LCO method, which is applying liquid first, cream next, and then sealing with oil, as opposed to the LOC method, which is liquid, oil and cream, and is typically used by people with high porosity hair. For low porosity hair, you have to apply water first. The water is going to open up the cuticles and prepare the hair to receive moisture. Then you apply your cream, which is typically your leave-in conditioner or your leave-in moisturizer. And then you seal that in with an oil. Sealing in with an oil keeps the moisture locked in and prevents the hair from drying out fast. So if you do these steps properly, you will observe that your hair will become accustomed to staying moisturized over certain periods of time. For example, me, I can moisturize my hair on a Monday and I won't need to moisturize again all the way till the next Monday. And this is because I've been doing this consistently over time. There were times when I used to moisturize my hair every single day, and there have been times where I moisturize my hair several days of the week just so that I could reduce dryness and get my hair accustomed to receiving moisture to make sure it grew healthier. And now let's get into the steps or the pointers you need to take note of if you don't have time, if you're extremely busy, or if you just can't seem to get into the routine of moisturizing consistently. Pay attention to these steps. You will need to follow them. The key is consistency. If you're not consistent, trust me, you will simply not see results. So the key is consistency. So start first and then work towards establishing a routine. Even if it's once a week, it's better than going weeks and months at a time without doing anything in terms of moisturizing your hair. 1, steam and moisturize your hair in the shower, especially steaming. Steaming involves you allowing the steam or the heat from the shower, if you used hot water, to get into your hair. And what this does is that it opens up the cuticles to receiving moisture. Another thing you can also do is start your wash day with hot water, not boiling hot, just hot enough that it helps the hair to open up and receive moisture. And after you do this, go ahead and finish your entire wash day and moisturize your hair in the shower after you finish your wash day. So you know that you've taken out the entire process of moisturizing and you don't have to worry about having to do that when you step out of the shower. So combine your moisturizers and your oil with water in one spray bottle. Now I know people have advised against this, but it is a game changer for someone that is starting out moisturizing their hair and they're already struggling with being consistent. So what you want to do is you want to put a little water in your spray bottle, and then you're going to add your moisturizer or your leave-in conditioner. Then you're going to add your oil. Put it in such quantities that one of them does not overlap the other. So you don't want to put in too much water and you don't want to put in too much leave-in conditioner, especially if your leave-in is thick, and you also don't want to put in too much oil. Just make sure it's a perfect balance of each and apply this to your hair when it's time to moisturize. You can also use this in the middle of the week and just spray it all over your hair, refresh your hair, and trust me, you won't have to worry about layering, that's doing water first, doing your cream, and then doing your oil, worrying about having to go through all of those steps before you finally finish the moisturizing process. Moisturize your hair while you style. That is, if you're going to be doing braids or twist, whether with your hair or with extensions, apply the moisturizing products to the hair and style instead of applying the moisturizers to the hair after you are done styling. You want to make the moisturizing a part of the styling because this is going to make it easier for you so that you don't have to worry about moisturizing when you're done with your style, and it does not now look like extra work. I mean, you're done styling your hair and you now have to worry about coming to apply moisturizing product. So to save time, just add it in, and then before you braid each section or twist each section, go ahead and apply your moisturizer and then do your section using a shower cap or a plastic bag for extra heat. Now you can do this after you apply your deep conditioner or even after you apply your leave-in conditioner. That extra heat is going to help the hair absorb the product better and is going to keep the hair condition better. By the time you take it off, you know that your hair is going to feel much better and even softer. deeply intentional moisturizing sessions. Now, I highly recommend this if your hair is very, very dry or you're trying to establish a routine that allows you to moisturize your hair intentionally. Pick one day of the week, every single week, and focus on moisturizing your hair with your moisturizer. And this is just going to be for a time, like a month, 2 months, 3 months. But after that time, you're going to observe a considerable difference, and you may need to stop or dial it back, but you are going to have achieved your goal of your hair retaining moisture better and feeling healthier, your strands being stronger, and you're going to be able to take your hair care easier from there. Remember, guys, the things that you do every time or consistently are the things that become habits. And so if you want to get better at moisturizing, you're going to have to start from somewhere in order to get to where you want to be. Make protective styles that help you retain moisture, like braids, like twists, like cornrows. There are specific protective styles that when you make them, they help lock in the moisture into the hair strands. There are definitely styles that when you make them and you take them down, you'll be able to tell whether or not your hair feels very dry. And there are styles that when you make them and you take them down, you can instantly tell that your hair is better moisturized and it feels conditioned still. At the end of the day, what you need to understand is that moisturizing low porosity hair is not about doing the most, but it's about being efficient with the little steps that you can manage. So try all of these and let me know if they make a difference for you. They definitely will make a difference. But let me know in the comment section. And if you've tried any of these before or you've experienced any of these before, also let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.